is the first one. None of it, Q, will ever be about basketball. None of it will ever be about ball. It's so that when I'm old and you're my age and you're standing here coaching your own team, that maybe when you were sitting in that chair, I said something to you that helped your life, not your game. So when we have these, Chuck, it makes me no difference if you're a redshirt senior or a walk-on or a manager or my children. When we have them, whoever's here is going to come. This is only to try to help your life. Hey, Nebo, do you know how many years you have to play in the NBA in order to qualify for your pension? Do you know what pension means? It means, he said, I'm not sure. Everybody got it? He's a redshirt senior. How old does that mean you are? He's 21. He's 21 and he's not sure what pension means or how many years you have to be in the NBA in order to qualify for a pension. So here's session 1 out of 8. The value of $1. That's the name of it. The value of $1. And what I'm going to try to do in like 1 hour is just kind of touch on some things that I know you don't know, but you should have an idea of it. Cassius has yet to play a college game. So when I say to him, hey man, when you play professionally, just pick a number. How much do you want to make? What was his response?
50,000.
Yeah. What was his first response? I don't know. Nebo, 21, redshirt senior. Cass has been on campus for 48 hours. He was admitted into college the day I asked him the question. You with me? Nebo and Cash had the same answer. I don't know. You guys with me? The value of $1. So I'm going to try to, as best I can, just to make sure that when you walk out of here, you at least understand it. Is credit good or bad according to that piece of paper? Good. But for the most part, in y'all's lives, when you've heard the word credit, what do you think of? Bad credit. Just to touch on it, bad credit means what? It means you owe somebody some money and you didn't pay them. Or you didn't pay them on time, or both. You guys with me? In this situation, we're not talking about credit cards. We'll talk about it later. We're just talking about the word credit. Is it good or bad? It's good. It's good. Debit. When you hear, when have you heard the word debit, Josh? Debit card. Nebo, does this look like your debit card? Debit means what? Debit means what? Yeah, so a debit means what? It says debit on there, right? So what do you think that means, Dre? Think about it. Look at that. Credit, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Not a credit card. Not a credit card, Q.
Credit's good.
Credit is good.
Debit.
Credit is positive. Debit, Nebo, is yes, but it doesn't necessarily have to be bad, right? But it's for sure a negative. So when you go to the bank and use this as an ATM, what are you doing? You're taking money out. But have you ever seen these? No. But you've seen these, right?
I've seen it before.
Okay. Half of you have seen it, this. All of you have seen this. You guys would agree? Okay. When you use this, Nebo, at the ATM, I know you want the money, but do you ask for a receipt? When you get the money, do you click on, I need a receipt? Not really. Who clicks on for a receipt? Savion is going to ask for the receipt. Why? He wants to know how much is left. Okay, so this is like the old school, the original. There is no app on your phone to check the balance. There is no receipt coming out of an ATM machine to see, right? This is how 78% of NFL players go broke. This is how 60% of NBA players go broke. They don't know the value of a dollar. They haven't ever been taught this. You guys got it? I'm not saying this so you'll learn it. So if you become an NBA player or an NFL player, I'm saying this so when you're married and you have children, you understand the value of a dollar. So look at, when you open it up, you see an example. You're right, Cash. Now, go to the next page, and now you see it. So look at the top, across the, not the very, very top. Look at the title of each spot. What does number or code mean? Number what? It would be a check number. How many of you have ever written a check? 4. Okay, so we're going to write a check in just a minute. But in order to write a check that's not hot, you have to have what? Money. So this is what I want you to do. And if we're putting money, Dre, into an account, is that going to be a credit or a debit? Credit. So now, that's right, because it's positive. So now, right over here under the date, 05/30. 05/30. That goes under date. Yep. Now, what does the title say above that? Look at the next category. Look at the title. What does it say? Yeezy, what does it say? Transaction description. What are we about to do, Q? We're about to do what? No, we're not writing a check yet because we have to have what? We have to have money. So what is the description of what we're about to do, Chuck?
Transaction.
Yeah, what kind of transaction? A positive one or a negative one?
Negative. My account is there. Positive.
This is your account. This is your account. It's May the 30th, and we're going to make a deposit. Is deposit a credit or a debit? It's a credit. How much do you want the deposit to be?
100.
Okay, 100. So now look at the titles up at the top. Is this a credit or a debit? Are we adding or taking away from, Chuck? Adding. So a credit, just so you guys know, it's always going to go on the right because it's a good thing. You guys with me? So is it going to go in the first category or the second category? Second. So Danny said we're making a deposit for $100. Just so my children who are younger than you understand, what if it was $100.50? What would you do? 100.50. And so that line that JJ's talking about, what do you think that's for? That's the dot. You guys with me? It's $100.50. Okay, so now we're going to write a check. Now we're going to write a check. Yeah, we're going to come back to that. So, guys, this is called a checkbook register. And what do you think it's for? Keep track of everything, right? Everything. Is that the good stuff only? It's the bad, it's everything. That's all the credits and all the debits. Does that make sense? Okay, so now, just so there's no confusion, write a check out to your mom. So the day's date is May the 30th. You can write out May or you can write the month that it is. And now pay to the order of. What does that mean? Just so I don't go too fast. Pay to the order of. What does that mean? Who are you paying? Your mom. So you're paying your mom. So What would you write there, TJ? What are you going to write there? You're making the check out to your mom. What do you write? That's right. Why does he have to write her name and not the word mom? That is what her account is. Like he can't write mom, right? Because when she shows her driver's license to make the deposit, mom don't count because it's not on her driver's license, right? So pay to the order of and write out your mom's name. What are you going to write to the left of your mom's name in the checkbook register?
The date.
The date. To the left of the date, in a category we haven't used yet, what are we going to write in the far left category that we didn't write on deposit? Yeah. Hold on just a second. Let's make sure we're all on the same page. So we're looking at the checkbook register. We're looking to the left of the date. There's a category that we haven't used. Look at the title. Number or code. Number or code means what? The number or code of what? The check. That's right. That's right. So it's check 1025. It's May the 30th. You're writing a check to your mom. Yep. Everybody understand? Everybody on the same page? Okay, now listen. Let's write the check for $50.50. Wait just a second. Where should you write this in your register? Good. Because it's a what? That's right. It's a debit. It's a minus. That's right. 50, 50. Perfect. Okay, now let's go back to the check. Okay, now wait just a second. How do you write out the word mark 50?
F-I-F-T-Y.
Okay, 50. If the check is for $50.50, don't go too fast, you're going to screw up. If the check is for $50.50, the first word you have to write under it, your mom's name, is what, Chuck? What's the first word you're going to write under your mom's name on that next line? That's right. You're going to write 50. And that 50 would apply to what? Dollars. So now I'm going to show you. Here's that second line. 50. Now what do you know to write? Does anybody know? Okay, look to the far right. Dollars is already there. So 50, Nebo. Did you write 50? Perfect. It's $50. We already know. Yes, you're on point. So now what? $50 and good. So because you can't write it on the check, but that's how I do it, I always write it out. 50 and what is it? 50 cents. And then what do you do on the far right corner? Sign it. Sign what? Your name. Your name. Okay, so now go back to the checkbook register. How many transactions have we made? Two. One's a positive, which we call a credit. It is a deposit. And one is a debit, which is a negative. So now look over here where it says balance, the far top right. So if you were doing it every single time, and we just started an account, what would our balance be after the deposit? $100.50. Now go down to the next one. What would our balance be after the check we wrote to our mom? $50. Everybody understand, Chuck? The balance. Q, make sense? Help you a little bit? Thanks. That's why I wanted you to come, because this is what you need. That's why you wanted to come, because you knew that's what you need. That means you have wisdom. Just because you don't know it I don't know all of it. I don't know all of it. But I want to learn. That's wisdom. Everybody understand? Positive, negative, debit, credit, a checkbook register, how to write a check. Everybody got it. Now we're talking about gross, net. We're only talking about money. Nebo, what does gross mean?
How much money you make?
Good. Yes, say a little more.
How much money you make each year?
Okay, keep going.
Income.
Good. Income. It's the total. Gross. That's the total. Right? That's the total. The total. So then what does net mean, Zach?
You actually get.
Yeah, how much you actually get. So this is not words we use. This is how I learned it. This is what they say my income is. And this is what I get in my hand. In my hand. What did Josh Childress say, Everett? What did Josh Childress say when he was talking about numbers?
You said you get $11 million.
Okay, good. Stop. 11 million. Is that gross or net?
Gross.
Gross. When he said 11, what was the next thing he said?
It's more like 5.
It's more like 5. So from here to here, what happens? A lot of stuff. Taxes is a big part of it. If that person makes $10,000 per month, how much is that person making gross per year? $120,000 a year. Is that gross or net? It's gross. Gross means that's how much total my income is. Net means what? In my hand. Have I paid any bills yet? Have I bought a car yet? Bought any shoes? This person makes $104,000. This is 1 month check. Look at gross pay. Look kind of under Texas A&M, gross pay. What's current mean? What they get right now. And right now is how much are they getting paid? What is this pay period, TJ?
What is the pay period?
Yeah,
Oh, April.
good. So for the month of April, that person's gross salary is what? Good. Now, fast forward all the way on that same line, all the way to the far right. And you see net. What does net mean? In your hand. Have we went to Texas Roadhouse yet? Have we sent Mama her $100 check for Mother's Day? No, we haven't done anything. And the net in your hand, that person's hand, highlight that number. The difference in their gross and their net for this month is how much? Just quickly.
Like 20,000.
What you said?
Like 20,000.
Like 20,000. Pre-tax. Pre-tax means before they take your taxes. It happens before. Pre. Post means after. Make sense? So now, you're going to go to this page. Tax 2019 federal income tax brackets. Taxes, taxes, taxes. There's different kinds. There's different kinds. This one, just so you get it just a little bit. Tax bracket for single filers. Who's single on my staff, Josh?
Josh.
Josh Chambers and Josh Nebo are single. So when they complete their taxes, they're single. That means what, JJ? Yep. Don't want to go that far. It means what? It means we're not talking about how much money Josh and Josh makes. They're not married. Single? Yeah. If I'm single, that means I ain't married. Okay? Now, think about this one. Can you be married without kids? So now look. Tax brackets for single. Tax bracket for married. Go to the next one. Tax brackets. I'm the head of the house. I'm the only one making money. And I got 4 kids. That's just what that means. You guys got it? That's all I wanted to touch. Now look at this. 10%, 12%, 22%, 24%, 32%, 35%, 37%. What does that mean, Luke?
The more money you make, the higher the tax rate is.
Everybody get that? The more you make, the more you're taxed. If Ben Simmons, is Ben Simmons single? Ben Simmons is single. TJ Starks is single. Let's say TJ Starks makes $9,699 in his stipend per year. Let's say that that's what Ben Simmons made when he was in college. That means they're taxed at 10%. So when people say to you someday, what tax bracket are you in? It's kind of a hard question to ask because the first $9,000 you make is taxed at 10%. And then if you make $9,700 up to $39,700, you guys see that? That difference is taxed at 12%. In the United States, it's a gradual bracket. Gradual. Make sense? Just wanted you to know it just a little bit. Now go to the next page that you haven't looked at. Go to the one that has all the states. If you live in California, what's the highest tax bracket? If you live in California, the tax range, the lowest is what in California? 1. And the highest is? Oh, wow. Okay, so now go back to the page we were just looking at. Go back to the page you're just looking at. And let's talk about this person right here. This person makes $800,000. And let's say that they're single, like Josh and Josh. This person makes $800,000 and they're single. What is their tax rate? 37. And let's say that that person lives in California. How much is that? You guys think that's good or bad? Oh, that's Ben Simmons' numbers. I made $1 million and I only got 500,000. You guys with me? So you understand every state has its own taxes. You understand that this other one, the one that Savion has, that's whose taxes are those? Who are we paying those taxes to? The federal government. The federal government. This one is what? State. Depending upon what state you live in, depending upon how much money you make, you basically add these two together. Does that make sense? This is the federal tax. That's the government. What is this one? State. What is the state tax in Texas? There is not one. There is not one. Look at the next thing. OASDI. That's Social Security. That is what percentage? Got it? What's another one? Medicare. What is that one? So for the month of April, that person paid how much in Medicare? That's right, 1,623. Federal withholding, what is that? That's this sheet. The person's making 800, and let's say they're single. What's their tax bracket? 37. So that number is what? So they gave the government $20,000 that month. You guys with me? So now go back to employee taxes up. See where gross is highlighted? And then go to the middle box and you see employee taxes. That's how you get $21,000. You see that stuff we just went over in that box, right? Okay, now pre-tax deductions. Now look at this index finger right here. Pre-tax. That's some of the words that the rest of you guys were saying. Hey, I know it's taxes, but what about the NBA pension, the NBA escrow that Childress mentioned? So now those are what deductions? Pre-tax. So look up there at the top where you highlighted gross. And then the first category is pre-tax. The second category is employee. The third one is post. Means what? Perfect. It means after. So do you guys have a feel for how the $1 million that Ben Simmons was talking about went to 500,000? Kind of have a feel for it, right? Josh Childress, 11 million over 4 years, and it in your hand is 5 million. You kind of have a feel for it, right? The reason that kids go broke, the reason that kids go broke is they don't know where all the money goes. I'm not saying any of you guys are average. I am also not saying any of you guys are going to make it. I'm not saying that you guys won't play 20 years. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about whether you make $1 million as a player or $1 million as a business owner, you better know the value of a dollar. And if you don't teach yourself and you're reliant on somebody else, you guys think that's smart? Are you guys following it? I ain't talking about buying a house. I'm not talking about a credit card. I'm not talking about buying your mama a house. I'm talking about the money you make. Do you at least have an idea where it goes? Watch this and then we're done.
As an athlete, you guys' life is flipped. You guys make the most money you're ever going to make at a very young age.
Yeah, so when he says you're flipped, what does that mean? Most people do what? They make more money the older they get. So he's saying it's flipped. Which means what, Cash? That's right. Or you're not going to play when you're older. Your lives are flipped, right? That's why guys go broke. They get all of this money when they're young, and nobody said, hey man, for 80 minutes, we're going to talk about it, just so you have an idea. Make sense?
The fact is, most people are going through college at that time, but you at 23 were making decisions of how to manage hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. What was that like when you first got there?
Man, coming out of college, I was a second round pick. So my first year,
What does that mean? Nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing.
it was $850,000. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that's a lot of money. Like to make $850,000, you're still in the top 1% in America, and so it's a lot of money. My first year, I didn't hire a financial advisor. I said I'm gonna do this on my own. I want to learn how to pay bills. I want to learn how money works. And if I
Think it's best, TJ, to learn before you make 850,000? Definitely. Why?
You bound to spend that quick.
1,000%. Cash, you think 50,000 is a lot now? No. But is 50,000 really a lot? Absolutely. It just depends on what? What? Depends on where you're at. Do you guys think that Draymond Green makes $850,000 today? But when he got the 850, it was a lot, wasn't it?
If I screw it up, I screw it up. Because at the end of the day, I'm 22 years old. I can't live the rest of my life off this 400 grand I'm gonna take home anyway. But
How much he take home? You guys kind of have an idea, Yeezy, how that works now, right?
can't teach myself about money.
So along the way, getting there, you have to make some really good decisions, right? You have to think things through, the people you trust, the things you invest in. Is there something to this date that's a business decision that sticks out to you that's like, that was a great decision I made to this point?
A couple investments that I've made are like, all right, those were great decisions. I think the most important decision I've made is just surrounding myself with the team that I have.
Make different moves. That was your words, right, TJ? Yeah, I agree. Make different moves. Do you think he spent $21,000 at a club one night when he was at Michigan State? Do you guys think he's making more money now than he was in that interview? We're about to all go watch him play. He's making more than $850,000. Do you guys think that he has spent $21,000 in a club since then? No. But he did do it once. Why? Because he didn't know. He was uneducated. Most guys, man, I'm going to work on my game, I'm going to work on my game, I'm going to work on my game, and then when I get there, yo, man, now I'll figure all that out. And then their career's over like that, and they never figured it out. I'm going to be an assistant, I'm going to be an assistant, I'm going to be an assistant. I want to be a head coach, want to be a head coach, want to be a head coach. Get the chance and go, oh, damn, I'm not sure how to handle this. I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was doing it so I could go have different moves. No, don't do it for the moves. But be prepared when you get there. Make sense? And find people that can teach you, not what you want to hear. Find people that can teach you, that can help you with wisdom on, hey, you know, like, if for some reason that happens, how am I supposed to do that? Read this. Here's your quote card for the day. Sorry, Zach. I think it goes right along with what we've been talking about. Read the quote, Dre.
Don't make long-term decisions based on short-term circumstances.
Compound, the word in the team rule. It's in all caps, right? $21,000, 7 years later is going to be worth 42. 7 years later, it's going to be worth 84. He made a short-term night at the club. It's more than $21,000 that he tricked off. It's more than 21. Because that 21, if it was done right, could have compound. But think about compound, Zach. What if tonight there's 40 people here? For the most part, 15 of them are all the same age. What if, no matter how old we are, each one of us learns something compound in a good way that helps us? And if it helps us, when you guys are older, it means it's helped who? It's helped your Mason. It's helped everybody. Do you guys understand? That's compound, like it just keeps going and going. So when we have Get Better sessions, it's not to try to win a game. It's not because I'm the coach. It's my responsibility with how I've been blessed. Hey man, when I was sitting in that chair right there, I wasn't sitting in that chair. I was sitting over there on that stool, and it wasn't no stool. It was stand your ass up and don't move, and take notes like this, and write down every word that's being said, so that when you get your chance, you're prepared. That's if you get your chance. You guys with me? I just wish somebody would have said, hey man, let me teach you this. It'll take 75 minutes. But if you'll learn it at your age, it'll change your life. And then when you're 46, and then when you're 31, and then when you're 72, 71, and then when you're 13, then you go, oh, man, I'm glad I learned that then. Make sense? See you guys.